Hi, please excuse me, I have no makeup on today because I just was not working today and day off, cleaning house. Anyways, I am starting a blog about a weight loss journey. I'm sure you've seen many of them, but I just thought this might help motivate me and inspire others. My usual weight has been 175 throughout my life, but I have had children. I'm in it at 220 pounds with the 1, 3, and 5-year-old. I've lost weight in the past and gotten as low as 139 pounds. I did go through some back and forths from 175 to down, but once you've accomplished that, it's the greatest feeling ever, and you know you can always go back to it. So I have been applying. The first step is confidence, but also you want to eliminate any stressors from your life. Mine was relationship issues, and really, I'm good at counting calories on paper, but when you have relationship issues or other stresses in your life, it can have a great effect, because they said a lot of people don't lose weight or gain weight due to a lack of feeling of freedom. So once you feel free, they said a lot of it is your job, you may not feel free. So I've realized that has a lot to do with it too. A job where you feel somewhat of a sense of freedom. And, being a new mom, you can also be hard to lose the weight because you lost a bit of freedom taking care of children. So once your communication improves with your children and you get a better sense of freedom, you can have it a lot easier to really start losing weight. So this is the beginning where I really feel like it's at a point where I'm going to start losing. I want to say from nutritional aspects, common sense is the first most important thing, is drinking a lot of water. Drinking water before and during your meal will make you feel fuller. I personally try to fill up on liquids in general to keep my stomach expanded on liquids. So I like a lot of coffee because what you find in a lot of diet pills in general is caffeine, and so I like the caffeine to just give me that burst of energy to keep me active during the day. So I fill up on water, coffees, teas are great because they have antioxidants, and I don't just drink a cup at a time. I drink a great big thermos like that of those stay hot or cold for up to 12-hour thermoses. Sip on those constantly. So that really worked for me in the past when I got to 139. The main thing I can also say I started doing that really helped was praying. We have to realize we're good enough to pray for ourselves, not just other people. So for a while I've been, praying for the well-being of my children and so forth with new young ones. But I'm getting ready to go back on the next level like I did before and praying for myself and losing weight. It's okay to pray for yourself. Prayer can sometimes be effective when, like Mother Teresa said, her secret to happiness was praying, 1,000 times a day. Like, maybe not literally, but a figure of speech. So sometimes you can pray on something, once when you do your nightly prayer or whatever. But if you just keep thinking and meditating and praying on it and make it a conscious effort all day, every day, I like to pray on one thing at a time because it keeps my focus. So lately I've been praying for my children. Now I'm ready to put my focus on prayers throughout the day, every day, on my weight loss journey. So it also takes my effort in part, not just the Lord's. And so I pray that He gives me the power within my heart and Him being there to do this. So we're worth it. And you need to have him answer some other prayers too, to get rid of, like I said, the stressors in your life. It can be a motivation to get rid of the stressors, a bad relationship, whatever else it may be. So it's very important you write all your calories down. You need to learn the calories and things. Get a calorie book, nutrition book. You can very easily look it up online. Just Google how many calories does such and such have to get your calorie count content. And going lower in fat, I think overall helps for like belly wise, because things higher in fat and carbs are going to stick to your gut area more. So sometimes you can be a little bit more lean without necessarily doing as much exercise as you should be, by just cutting back on fat, because you're naturally going to be more toned without that around your midsection by eating lower fat foods. Because sometimes you even see thinner people, but they got that midsection flab, and usually that's a sign of a high sugar, carb, or fat intake. So if you eat lean, you're going to lose some of that flab, not just lose the pounds. So I realized it's not necessarily practical for us to pack our food every day. Me having a 1, 3, and 5-year-old and working mother, single mother, it is not always practical. So I've tried to figure out how to lose weight eating fast food. Oh, yeah, that sounds horrible. But, I try to pack what I can when I can, but if I'm on the go, I need to learn there are very limited specific things I can eat while having fast food. There are certain no's in a diet. So basically, I say no red meats, no French fries, no ice cream, no soda. So if you stay away from the no's first, then you can start concentrating on what you need to add more of, such as vegetables. So, like if I go to McDonald's, yogurt parfaits are good, and salads are good. But it's so easy to just look up the calories when you eat fast foods, because you know the exact portion you're getting, unlike at home when you cook and you kind of are guessing the proportions and calories amount. So, if you have a salad, you can Google the salad dressing. You can bring your own light or fat-free ranch along if you want. Yogurt parfaits are good. Grilled chicken salads. Coffee with your meal. No soda. Diet soda is, better than regular soda. If you're trying to come off of soda, which is very, very hard, which is why it's not okay to have soda once in a while, because it's so addicting, is what I would start off doing is mixing half diet and half regular soda, like a half Diet Coke, half regular Coke. And then eventually I went to, 3/4 diet and a little bit of regular. But you want to eventually try to just have, I keep like a thing of water bottles, a whole case of them in the car and in the house. So I try not to be too picky about them being room temperature, so I can just have those along to pack whenever I get a meal out. So just try to, because that's the most important part of dieting, and one of the most hardest things is eliminating that soda. And so try to stick to grilled chicken sandwiches, chicken salads. It's very hard when you smell those French fries, but I realized that if we just give in to every little temptation a little bit that we have, we're really not creating a new habit. The new habit is to learn self-control. So I realized to learn self-control, you have to embrace something in order to overcome it. So to embrace it would mean I would intentionally walk into McDonald's and smell the aroma of the fries at the peak hour and just really embrace that smell and punish what would feel like I'm punishing myself by not ordering that. But by embracing something, you're overcoming its hold on you. If you know exactly what I mean. So, weight loss is a lot of no pain, no gain. So if you're feeling too comfortable, sometimes don't feel like you're necessarily starving, then your body's just balancing itself out to keep the weight you've been having. So you're going to have to feel a little bit of pain to know it's working. So instead of me running from that pain, I'm psyching myself out like, oh, this feels good. This feels like I'm in control of myself for once. I am, the master of my mind. My mind's not controlling me. I'm controlling what I want from myself. So I do a visual. Of, imagine a girl in a bikini, and you take the little clip art out and you put your head on that bikini, and you imagine that. And then I take a little clip art out of a gigantic pig and put my face on it. And then when I imagine that, I'm like, no, I don't want those French fries. So a lot of it is psychological. Don't just do it for beauty aspect. A lot of younger people, that's, our youth, our time to look beautiful. But it's also for health reasons. I just imagine, because I'm getting older, 38 now, I had kids kind of older in life. I want to be there for them as a mom, as a grandparent, and I don't want to have heart problems. I want to be less grumpy, because sometimes when you're, over 200 pounds like I am, your mood is a little bit grumpier, and I want to feel better, less grumpy, more energized, not lethargic. So it'll affect your mood and your health. You got to think of a lot of psychological reasons, not just beauty reasons, why you want to be thinner. So it's good to be, very aware. I tend to eat little snacks here and there, and it's like, oh, this is low calorie, that's low calorie, this is a bite of this or that. And that's how it just sneaks up and all ends up adding up at the end of the day. So it's very important you constantly track your calories. Just get a little notebook. I like the little wider size, little mini notepads at the store with the lines, and just write the calories throughout the day. And so I just want to have maybe a paper where you track your progress. Very important, every morning you weigh in without clothes, food, or water in your system. So right before you get in the shower, just weigh yourself in naked every morning and track it every single day. You want to track your weight every day, count your calories every day. Work on getting to the point where you're getting away from that soda, drinking water. Maybe sometimes, kick it up a notch and buy the little flavored waters. You can add lemon to the water too. So, I will just give you a little glimpse of my picture now. So, I'm at 220.5 pounds today. And, this is, try to wear, higher jeans to reveal. And, back, and then I'm not really into, a little shy, not into doing bra underwear scenes, but I'll just kind of lift up, and this is covering quite a bit of, if my jeans came any lower, this would just all be hanging out right here. Some stretch marks right there, it's just all coming out. And okay. So you can see I got some back here. One of the parts I hate the worst is my arm flab. Look at that. I want to wear tank tops in the summer in California, and I got all of this old lady flab right here, like I'm an old lady. So, just reminds me when I've been in a Walmart store somewhere and just seen these ladies with their flab all hanging out in their tank tops and anyways. Yeah, need to do push-ups or something. So that's the beginning. What I'm looking like now. I'd like to eventually incorporate some exercise in what I'm doing, because one thing when you're on those exercise machines and you're counting how many calories you're losing on them, you think twice about, am I going to order this large fry? Wow, like I just burned off a fourth of those fries. So when you're sitting there sweating and doing all this, it just makes you a lot more conscious of that stuff. And because I'm not quite ready to start exercising yet, I'd like just to pretend that, like, as if I were, and be like, I don't want to eat those fries, because I'd rather just not exercise right now, to be very conscious aware of how many freaking calories and fat that is. So I just have to create new habits, have your very limited things until they come out with more diet foods for people when you go out, of what you can eat. If you're in California or certain other areas, El Polo Loco, they have those under the 500 calorie meals you can purchase with a lot of, there's a lot of protein and fiber and beans. They have like fresh broccoli, corn, healthy grilled chicken. So, wish they'd have more veggie burgers at places. I thought of going vegan after watching all these veganisms videos, and then I realized right now it's not as easy and practical, because how am I going to go vegan eating fast food? It's complicated. So, right now I'm just going to stick to chicken and seafood, I think, because, that's a start. So, multivitamin can be good, because then you're meeting your nutritional needs. So, try to eliminate all stress. A lot of your mood and your weight go hand in hand. So, sometimes your weight affects your mood and temperament, and sometimes vice versa. Sometimes, we're big and grumpy, and our attitude is kind of why we're staying at it. So I try to be a little bit more patient with my children, be more patient, have a better attitude in general, because sometimes our psyche affects our mind, that affects our weight. So that's another thing to keep in mind. Alright, I hope you liked my video, and best of luck to you. God is great.